Thank you. A dispute may be to blame for the shooting and killing of a 13-year-old boy. This happened around 7 o'clock last night near Lay Boulevard and Race Street in Kalamazoo. And 24-hour News 8's Mark Thompson joins us now live from Kalamazoo. Mark, what are you finding out about the suspect today?
Good afternoon, Sue. I spoke with Chief Jeff Hadley a short time ago, and he tells us that they have an 18-year-old suspect in custody related to last night's shooting death of 13-year-old Michael Day. They tell me that this suspect was arrested last night on an unrelated charge, but they're working with the prosecutor's office to determine what sort of charges they're going to bring forth in connection to the shooting death. And Chief Hadley says that this was all the result of an ongoing dispute that reached its boiling point in that neighborhood last night. There were plenty of people out and about in the neighborhood last night enjoying the long Memorial Day weekend when the sound of gunshots disturbed the peace. Emily West was having a cookout and saw 13-year-old Michael Day riding his bike up and down the street before the shooting.
It's just sad because he's 13 years old. This is a child that's life been taken who parents couldn't even say goodbye to him last night.
She had just sent her own children to the store around 7 o'clock when she heard the shots. She raced down the block to check on her own kids and saw first responders attending to Day as he lay on the ground near the corner of Lay and Race Street.
Oh yes, they were pumping his chest.
Police say Day was shot in the upper torso. He was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. School officials say Day was a student at Millwood Magnet Middle School.
Support staff for both the students and staff will be available at the school today, and they'll be available throughout the week as necessary.
Others in the neighborhood say they saw a group of teenagers running from the corner just before the shooting as if they could see the danger approaching. KDPS Chief Jeff Hadley says the groups had been feuding the past several days, but the violence resulting in the death of a 13-year-old was simply senseless.
And to have someone of that age die in our streets is almost unconscionable. You know, I just feel for the neighborhood, I feel for the community, because this isn't acceptable.
And Chief Hadley tells me even at the victim's young age of only 13 years old, he was no stranger to violence. In fact, he was shot several months ago, but he survived that shooting before being shot again and killed last night. Again, Michael Day, the victim in this shooting. Now, as far as the 18-year-old suspect, police would not release his name at this time pending his arraignment. But again, they are working with the prosecutor's office to determine charges in this case. But I asked Chief Hadley if that 18-year-old, if he thought that he was the shooter in his case, and he wouldn't go as far as to answer that. But when I asked him, are they looking for anyone else? He said no. Reporting live in Kalamazoo this noon, Mark Thompson, 24-hour News 8.